Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
It's another Monday morning. Don't know what happened with the outro or intro, but hey, we're here. Hey, it's Monday morning. It's the fourth and short segment of the Sports Chasers Podcast. Good morning to everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody's well and good. Hey, going to left and right of my screen. Dan, what's good, brother? How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm still awake. See if I can make it the rest of the 30 minutes.
30 minutes, 29 and counting. DA, what's up? He's out of witness protection. DA, say what's up to the folks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We're about to get it in because I'm about to beat Dan to the Sandman. So,
as we say that, hey, let's go to our list of games here on the I'm going to say docket, but on the games that played on yesterday. Hey, the Broncos and the Jaguars traveled to London to play the last of the London games, I believe. The Broncos defeated the Jaguars 21-17. Russell Wilson, I think, saved the Daniel Hackett job for a little bit. The Jaguars, they went to 2-6. Broncos look like they might have saved their season. DA, what's your thoughts on Russell Wilson?
I think Russell had a game. I think the Jaguars are a better team than the Broncos, and they will be going forward. It's just the Broncos got a few older guys, and Sunshine, he still makes a lot of mistakes he shouldn't make, bad INTs and whatnot, but I think they're building something, whereas I can't necessarily think I'm saying that about the Broncos, but good win for them. Hard division. I don't think it helps them any, long term. Russell got to give up some money or something has to happen because they just don't have enough pieces. So
Russell needs to give up some money. Let's go to the stats. Russell was 18 of 30, 252, one TD, one interception. Latavius Murray was 14 carries for 46 yards. Melvin Gordon, who's been buried on the bench, 9 of 29. He also had a TD. Dan, before me and Dan started talking, got on this morning, Dan said he don't think Russell played all that well. Dan, go ahead.
I mean, he played mediocre, I think. I mean, he made a couple good passes. They also made a couple bad ones. Like, was it the second play of the game? He throws an INT. So, I don't know. I just think that they got plenty of opportunities because Jacksonville, for whatever reason, just couldn't score a touchdown. Like the interception at the goal line by Lawrence, that one was bad. But I mean, hell, that was it. Anthony.
Yeah.
That dude, he went up. I mean, 24 of 156.
He's killing.
And they struggled to put points up of it. They moved the ball. I mean, if you look at the stats, they had a whole lot more rushing. Denver had a little bit more passing. But
yeah.
Like DA said, they're on. I think Jacksonville's on the way up, where Denver, I think, is kind of stagnant where they're at. Like, if that Dulwich guy, the tight end, if he wasn't out there, it would have been a rough day for Russell, because that guy, like, I think it was 2 or 3 plays in a row, 15, 20 yards down the middle. Like, Jacksonville forgot to cover the tight end, like 3 plays.
They are still kids out there.
Yeah, I mean, and they're learning. Like I said, I think they're on the way up. But, kudos to Denver for pulling out the win. Like I think it was Mikey said, they're out of the States. They might win one. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy, though, from the way I see it. I think that they are a good team. They're just not what everybody said at the beginning of the season. So that's all. Their defense is not super duper, and Russell's not what people thought Russell were. And folks, get a chance. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't do no he say, she say garbage. But at the end of the Seattle game, Tyler Lockett said something. Check to hear what he said, and we'll talk about it on Thursday.
Oh, you know what? I wrote it down in my notes. I was going to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, let's just talk about it real quick. Tyler Lockett pretty much said after they defeated my Giants. For those that said, "Well, where's your Giants gear at today?" I don't have it on. Whatever. Yeah, we lost. Okay.
Daryl's back in the closet
Yeah.
with the gear.
I just wanted to wear some other gear today, right?
Yeah,
Cash
there you
moves
go.
everything around me,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, pretty much. I'm just paraphrasing. Um, if you didn't watch parts of the Giants game, the Giants and the Seahawks game, Tyler Lockett dropped a very easy touchdown in the beginning, right? Would have put the Seahawks up by 14. You can see Geno Smith goes to Tyler Lockett and says, "Hey man, I'm gonna go back to you." And sure enough, what does Tyler Lockett do? I mean, what does Geno Smith do? He actually goes back to Tyler Lockett. He was able to catch a touchdown, and after the game, he says, "I'm paraphrasing. I have to pull it up here." Pretty much, he says, "Yo, this team is not about who gets the credit. It's not about. It's about teamwork." He said it, and pretty much it wasn't that before. Dorian, 30 seconds on that. Go ahead, bro.
And I gotta. I heard what he said. I'm not sure. Like I haven't seen. I guess gotta take it. So you got the Legion of Boom had a problem with the guy, and now one of his wide receivers had a problem with it. My thing as a man is, I don't like you saying shit when I'm going. You could, if you was really feeling that way, you could have got froggy, and we could have talked about it right then and there. Because to do it now doesn't really help anything, right? It makes you just look like a sucker. So you should have just said it then. Yo, Russell, you took too much money. We can't do this. We can't do that. But you didn't do it. So at least Richard Sherman and them dudes called him out when they did it. That's not, he's gone now, and then when Dan hits the lottery and quits the job, everybody at the job is like, man, fuck Dan, man. Motherfucking Dan parked in my goddamn space. Fuck him. Fuck hockey. Fuck. Why you saying tell that to Dan? He only quit yesterday. Why you just didn't tell Dan he was parking in your spot?
Let me real quick. Dan, thank you, Dorian, for the visual. It's a following the win. Lockett said, "It's amazing what we can accomplish when no one cares who gets the credit." That's via Curtis Crabtree of Fox 13 in Seattle, and that's pretty much what Lockett said. I'm with D. If you got smoke for me when I left, well, what happened when I'm there? What did D say? D, what's your favorite thing? We address all drama.
Yeah, we address it all.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think it's right at all.
Yeah. No.
And it's a lot because everybody's contract are usually incentive laden anyway. So you do care about getting yours. So
yeah, for sure. For sure. That's another story. Let's move on down to the city of Atlanta. The Falcons defeat the Panthers. Why y'all laughing? The Falcons defeat the Panthers 37.
8-8 football team, playoff team 8-9 going to make the playoffs out there.
So the Falcons looks like the Falcons snatched defeat from
Victory from
defeat. Excuse me. I know I was trying to get. Thank you guys. But no thanks to the couple things that happened in that game. The Panthers kicker, he missed the extra point.
Extra point? You mean the 50-yard fucking field goal he had to kick because the guy took his helmet off?
Well, Dan, I'll let you take it away because I was about to get to it. As you see, the guys, they love to steal thunder. Go ahead, Dan. Set it up. I was trying to set it up, but go ahead, dog.
Dude, I mean, I watched, lots of parts of that, and I saw the dude catch the ball 5-6 times, and his helmet never came off. And I get it; it's a big time of the game. You score the touchdown, but you win the game if you get the extra point. And I could see if you did Antonio Brown, you ran up and you hugged the goalpost. Nobody's done it before. You're not sure if you're going to get an excessive penalty. I get that. But if you take your helmet off during the play or after the play, you're going to get a penalty for excessive celebration. Now, mind you, the dude missed a field goal in overtime they could have won them the game before they lost. But like, kudos to Carolina. Like, just when Urban Meyer left, not the rules left, these guys really want to play for
Yeah,
this dude. And
not a bad team.
yeah, and I mean, you look at the running backs. I mean, that trade. Yeah, they lost him, McCaffrey, but they don't have a salary anymore. They got a bunch of draft picks for him, and these two guys that they got in there running in there are doing great. Foreman had 118 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean, what more could you want? I mean, it's unfortunate that a bonehead play cost them that game.
Well, here, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
I'll let you go. You know that this morning, Dan Orlovsky said, by the letter of the law, he wasn't wrong because he wasn't on the field. He took it off when he was off the field. He was behind the end zone. He was behind the end zone when he took it off, which by rule, if we're going by the rules, is not a penalty. So that's what they said. That's what they said.
But okay, I heard what Dan Orlovsky said this morning. But let me tell you what another dude, Ross Tucker, said. Hey, and let me just allude to what Dan was saying this morning, just a few minutes ago. He said sometimes players get in a moment and it's a big moment, and I'm like, I get it, but I don't get it, man. Yo, just don't hurt your team, man. And D, I concur with what you said, but why toe the line so closely to allow somebody? Probably wasn't. Probably wasn't. Probably wasn't.
He might have thought that was the last play of the game. No time
Yeah.
left. He just threw his helmet up like, yeah, we did it. And he wasn't on the field. But
DW
he can't
said,
act like he been there, D, because he ain't never been there before. I think this is his first touchdown this year. He can't act like he been there. It's his first time there.
I mean, he had a monster game too. 6 for 152.
He balled out, man. He balled out, man.
Hey, look at a rough year for him. That was something to celebrate. He kind of lost his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a pass on this one.
NFL's always gonna have a problem because they don't do anything consistently in the NFL. So
No.
every call is depending on who's quarterback in, if that's a roughing or if that's not roughing, or is that pass interference or is it holding? Stop. We need robots there. Forget about baseball. We need some robots on the fucking football field.
I didn't even pull up the stats for that game.
What do you want to know?
I mean, Carolina, they're 2-6 now. 2-6. I don't think the interim's going to be left to play. I mean, left to coach. And that's what it is. They had the fire sale. They're the Panthers. And hey, shout out to going back to the Falcons. Shout out to the Falcons and Mariota, man. Mariota played a pretty good game here, man. He was. Let me get to the stats here. Marcus Mariota was 20-28, 3 TDs, 253. He threw two interceptions. Caleb Huntley was 16 of 91, no touchdowns. Mariota ran the ball 6 times for 43 yards, excuse me. And the Panthers, PJ Walker, played a good game too, 19 of 36, 317 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. And the throw that he did in the back of the end zone, man, that was a great game. I mean, great throw, man. Great throw. And it is unfortunate, like Dan said, that it took that penalty and pretty much cost him. Hey, and shout out to the Atlanta coach for saying, hey, we don't want it on the kickoff. Let's move them back a few yards. And they did some game. They say, hey, man, we're going to make this a 40-some-yard field goal. And he missed. So on this show here, DA, because D-Dub is not here, what do we usually say about the kickers?
You only got one job, B. One job. One thing to do. Put your foot on the fucking ball and put it between the 2 yellow pipes. No more, no less. That's it. That is it. You can't make French fries. Why are you here? Why are you here if you can't make fries? Right?
Let's go to the next game. The Dolphins go to Detroit and face the Lions, who have the worst defense in the league, and it showed yesterday. Tua almost threw for 400 yards. The Dolphins defeat the Lions 31-27. The Dolphins push to 5-3. Lions are a miserable 1-6. Nope, we keep saying they play hard. Da, when does that stop though? When does
It stopped. It's and I like Dan. I like the coach, but he's gonna he is going to be the perfect like tune-up guy, like because they're gonna bring another coach in there next year, and they're gonna go to the Super Bowl because he's already given them all the lessons they need as far as effort, this, and all the rest of those things.
right?
They just need somebody to tune up their scheme and to make them more disciplined as a team, But they got effort, and that's what most coaches are gonna want. But I don't think
Right.
he gets another year. I really don't think he gets another year. I hope he does. I like him, but I don't know if he'll get one though. So
Tua Tagovailoa was 29-36, 382 yards, as I said, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. My man Waddle had a monster game here, boy. Let me see how much he played. Waddle was he had 8 for 106, 2 TDs. He was targeted 9 times. Tyreek Hill, 12 receptions, 188 yards. Targeted 14 times. Mike Gesicki, who's Tua's red zone guy, he was targeted 4 times, all in the red zone, and 3 receptions, 1 TD. What you think about
Tua.
Yeah,
It is Tua, because remember before, people are, we don't know if it's Tua. Okay, they were losing when he wasn't in there. He comes back and they're blowing cats out again. So
yeah, 5-3.
Yeah, it's him.
And a lot of people, and I'll go back to the D. What you always say, oh, Tua, he can't throw the long ball, and hey, man, he was pretty good in college, man. Dan, go ahead, Dan, go.
To that point, though, I did see a couple of passes where Tyreek had to stop and come back for a couple of those deep bombs, but that was because he was holding the ball and they just got too far down the field. But like I don't get it because I want to say Detroit was up. What was it?
14, man.
Yeah, they were up.
Was
They
it
were
14?
21-7.
Yep.
And they were up 27-17 at the end of the second. But it was like, I mean, Goff had a decent game, 27-37, 321, 1 touchdown. The problem was they just couldn't get in the end zone. They had, the running back, Williams, he had, 10 for 53 and 2 touchdowns. But they just couldn't stop Waddle or Tyreek. I mean, they just,
Right.
he's just throwing the ball up and they were running and catching it. And and I did see about a friend of mine. Unfortunately, he's a Lions fan, and one of my other buddies is a Panther fan. He sent a picture from the game that he found online, and I think
Dan, you're muted. You're muted.
all right, no, it's the cord. Bump the cord, but like the dude, they were all like down in the 5-yard line, 3-yard line, or whatever, and they called the offside when they scored the touchdown. And the dude for Detroit was like an entire foot offside. If he would have looked to his left or right,
I did see that.
He was lined up with the offensive guys. It's just silly mistakes like that they got to clean up. Not that it would mattered because it was on them and they scored anyway. But like you said, I think Detroit, they got the pieces. It's just, they got to figure out how to stop somebody on defense.
They absolutely do. New technology here. Let me just share my screen real quick. And as you can see, let me just superimpose it if I can. Well, if you can't see it, if you can't see it, I can't really see it. Let me just not do it. But if you saw it, you can see the guy was like Dan said, like 1,000 yards. He wasn't even near onside. So I don't know. Let's go. Yeah, Dolphins. Like you said, it's Tua. Lions got a lot of work to do. we'll see. Let me move to the next game. The Cardinals go to Minnesota to face the Vikings. Kyler Murray, hey, Call of Duty's out. And Kyler didn't play such a bad game, man. He didn't play such a bad game. Vikings are 6-1.
Yeah.
When are we gonna start talking about the Vikings being, good in the league?
What did I say in our preseason?
Yeah, they're good.
The Vikes will win in the division.
Yeah,
Dan, you did say that. You did say that. Go ahead on this game, man.
Hey, Cousins did Cousins things. 2 touchdowns, no INTs. He ran one in. What more do you want? Kyler, he's still dolphin diving. I mean, if Hopkins doesn't come back, they get blown out of the building. Because he went 12 for 159 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he was like his security blanket for Kyler.
Oh, but did you see? Listen, there was a catch that Kyler.
No, there's two. There was two.
He slid through in the back of that damn end zone. I was like, wow. And D Hop caught that ball one hand.
Yeah.
Well, that was like.
Hey,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there was that one, and then there was I think one from the Vikings. That was later in the game. That it was like on the sideline, and like both passes should have never been thrown.
Yeah.
Because they were both like the Vikings guy was double covered, and Hopkins like that was the only thing that he had was that left arm that was open, and he just snagged that thing. But like I said, he bailed out Kyler a lot yesterday. But like I said, Cousins, he plays steady, doesn't turn the ball over. He got a great running back in Cook, 20 for 111 and a touchdown. That Matson, he had 5 for 40 and a touchdown. Jefferson went 6 for 95. Yeah. Like they really didn't do a whole lot of damage in the air. It was all on the run. But
right,
the way that division's shaken up, I think Green Bay's like the only one that has a shot, and they're 3 games behind.
Yeah,
Green Bay has a shot.
No, I said if they're the only ones that has a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to
say the Bears ain't doing anything, nor the Lions.
Well, I don't think the getting to the and I don't even have that game the thing on the docket here. I keep saying docket. The list. I don't know. I keep saying docket.
Court.
I know court. Right. The Packers. They didn't play all that good. Didn't play all that bad. But the Bills are the cream of the crop, and they did their thing yesterday. What'd you say, D? I'm sorry.
So they're just mad. They're both teams got the worst end of that trade because the Raiders ain't shit and Green Bay ain't shit. So and again, we're going back to before the season. Oh, Green Bay's defense, you'll see. Big 86 Bears. Okay, if you say so. If you say so.
And I don't know how the Raiders got blown out by the Saints 24-0. Who DA real quick, the coach, and I said it in my notes down here. McDaniels.
Yeah, listen, I told you guys before, man. We're not gonna belabor the point, man. If you coached for Bill Belichick, once you get out in the pool by yourself, you're gonna piss in the pool. That's what you're going to do.
Even if it's 3 feet?
Yes, because you used the coach picking you up, carrying you to the potty, sitting you on the potty, taking you off the potty, and then let you go back in the pool. This is what it is. And you look at these things, but you have to wonder, and I'm not going to say anymore, but if you look at like the coach at Philly, a lot of these young coaches that come up, they can be good coaches, man. They all don't have to come from Belichick. Actually, none of them should. But, here we go.
Here we go. So, Vikings, like he said, put some respect on Cousins and the Vikings. They're 6-1. They're playing very good. It is what it is. Our last game that we'll cover here, the Commanders go to Indianapolis, defeat the Colts 17-16. I think DA had the best quote yesterday when he texted what you said?
I said he lost his job to a beer.
So
Carson
he's
Wentz lost
talking.
his job to a beer, to a Heineke. So maybe this time they'll say, shit, we're just going to keep you here. Because for the last 3 years, quarterback gets hurt, you come in and you win games, and we still skip below you anyway. So, it's like you pick for days for the next half a year, and then some dude comes from nowhere, and now you're back to midnight. You're like, what the fuck? I've been here 30 years. Wait, look, my name's on the list, man. My name is there. That's what they do every year to this kid, man. So, because remember, the year when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, who was the team that beat them right before the playoffs? Washington. Where's
Yep.
Heineke? The kid can play, man. You know, he may be a drunk. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know why they don't commit to him being a starter, and why they always think they got to make somebody else in.
don't know.
It's the money.
Yes. Yeah,
They're
Dan,
paying Wentz.
elaborate that real quick.
you're right there.
Well, I don't know exactly what Wentz is making, but I think Heineke's only making like $5 million.
Yeah.
So whenever Wentz is healthy, guess who's playing? Because you're not paying him 15, 20 million to watch and hold a clipboard. Heineke
So
is.
Heineke was 23 of 31, 279 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was their leading rusher also yesterday. Tied with Curtis Samuel. They both had 29 yards. But
He got the touchdown though.
DA, what is wrong with Indianapolis? Why? I mean, I read something yesterday. They was like, they can't get
You're
past
cursed. It's the
Peyton
curse of
Manning
Andrew Luck.
and Andrew Luck. Yes.
Andrew Luck. It was Darryl said it. Your brother said it, right? So how many years has it been since he retired?
Was it 3, 4 now?
All right.
Maybe 4.
We got
Yeah.
6 years left. Darryl says you fuck up on a quarterback, you're in purgatory for 10 years. And you think about it, like in all seriousness, they've done everything they can do to replace Phillip Rivers. He was the best quarterback they've had since Andrew Luck quit. They've been trying to replace a 38-year-old man with 18 kids for the last 2 or 3 seasons, dog. Like it's real because they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. So
Yep.
no matter how good the rest of the team is, everybody gets beat by, so the offensive line gets beat up here, defensive line gets beat up. But if you got that quarterback at the top, you can erase some of the BS. They can't find a quarterback. And whether it's a free agent or getting a new guy, they don't want to commit to a new guy because they have players all over their roster. Like they got expensive offensive line, defense. They don't want to, put a kid back there to play, but that may just be what you need. A Davis Mills or somebody like that. You never know what it'll turn into, but you're not going to get it with these old guys. So maybe the kid at Texas now may be the dude. They're from Texas. Maybe he becomes that dude for him. I don't know. Get cursed.
Yeah. We got less than 2 minutes here. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's your thoughts on the Indianapolis game here?
I didn't watch this. I just saw some of the highlights that they had in there with Heineke. But, I mean, as I said, Ellinger, he didn't play terrible. 17 of 23, 201. No touchdowns, no interceptions, a QBR of 100. I mean, he basically did a Cousins. He took care of the ball and didn't make mistakes. Taylor, he really didn't get off. He fumbled the ball. Well, I guess Ellinger fumbled one too. But, I mean, like DA saying, they got a lot of talent. They keep going after fossils to play quarterback. I mean, they might as well call Ben, see if he'll come out of retirement.
A lot of things Ben to do for money, and that might be one of them. So,
DA, real quick, we're going to get on out of here on this note. Hey, McCaffrey's play yesterday
the kid can
with
play,
your
man.
Niners.
I just think it'll be scary with him and Debo both are in there and able to do what they need to do. But he can play, and I think, and we said this earlier in the year, by him going there, he'll probably put another 4 or 5 years on his career because he's not going to play every down with the Niners.
No.
They got other running backs, so
Right.
they're not going to. He'll be a decoy probably as much as he's going to be an active, participant in the game. So I think it'll work for him next year, and it's going to really be good for Trey because Jimmy G is not coming back regardless of what happens. So
You heard it right here. October 31st. DA said Jimmy G is not coming back.
he's good for a $6 million quarterback, man. He's not good for a $24 million quarterback. Because for $24 million, your quarterback has to win the games. For $6 million, you just can't lose the game.
Right.
So that's where we're at. So, but I'm happy, man. They made the move I thought would help.
Right.
We're cursed too, though.
I just think you just don't like Jimmy G.
I like Jimmy. He's a good guy.
So what happens if he wins the Super Bowl?
He still gets let
He's
go.
still going to walk?
Yeah, because they're not going to give him $20 million. They know he's not worth
Okay.
it. So somebody else will give it to him.
Yeah. They beat the Rams yesterday. They own the Rams in the regular season. The Rams got the Super Bowl blues. They went all in, like DA said. They went all in. They got the chip last year, but it's hurting them this year. And not mad. They did what they're supposed to do. So
I think one day, Dan, I'll call you, Kev. We need to find out exactly how much a Super Bowl is worth to a team financially, and that can solve a lot of a lot of things that people think. Oh, okay. So, how much money did the Steelers get just from them beating the Cardinals in that last Super Bowl? Like, how many years did that get them of free will and goodwill and money and this, that,
Merchandise and all kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, I
New
think there's
fans.
something to that.
I think that's a good thing to research and come up with, because the Rams, right? They Stan Grunke, he's pretty much spearheaded them moving back from St. Louis to Los Angeles and built that awesome stadium out there in Inglewood. And yeah,
Private funds too.
for sure. Go ahead.
They need that money back.
Now, my question was that in Levi Stadium or SoFi Stadium yesterday?
That was in the SoFi Stadium yesterday. That game was
Sure.
in SoFi Stadium. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it looked like San Francisco East or West or whatever direction it is from San Francisco, because that place was all red.
Well, I think the Niners travel really good as their fans travel really good. Like the Cowboys fans, Giants fans. So it is what it is, man. Hey, it's 32 minutes. We got to get out of here, man. Hey, man, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O'Warren, your host and moderator. Dan, our hockey dude. Dorian, the DA Albritton, in the absence of Mike Mills. James, the angry one. And Daryl D. Del Warren. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast, man. Hey, man, y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Hey, we'll see y'all guys on Thursday. Be good.
Later.